Today's transformation success secret is the 3 tips to staying mentally strong and healthy during this whole COVID crisis. A lot of times we forget about the mental strength, right? That's required. We're looking at, we're getting upset about how we're eating and not being able to work out. Okay, and we're getting stressed out all the time. A lot of us are. I've talked to a lot of people who are in a depressive state right now, and it's understandable. It's understandable. So we're like, you know what? Let's focus today. Let's get away from, okay, eat like this and train this much times, because none of that matters if you can't change what's happening up here, right? You can go and you can work out 3 times today. You can do 3 classes at 5:30, at 12 p.m., and at 5 p.m. Right? That doesn't matter if we don't change what's going on up here. Okay? And to have the motivation, the willpower to stick it through, to keep going, happens from up here. So health actually is, we look at physical health a lot, but we can't forget emotional health and mental health as well. This program, Easy Fit, brings all that together. And sometimes some of you might not know it. You go in thinking, most people come to us because they're like, yo, I want to lose weight. Like a lot of goal is the weight, right? I want to look better, right? But then they don't factor in the changes that's going to happen up here and in here over that time, right? And I've noticed people actually hit their goal, lose 30 pounds, lose 40 pounds, and they're still not happy. And they still don't feel like they've achieved anything. Why? Because they actually never thought about changing what's going on up here and what's in here, right? So today, just, there's a lot we can do to do this, but we're not going to go too crazy deep into it. We're just going to go over what you can do right now with the situation going on, because the situation going on right now is affecting a lot of people, and to where it's like they feel like things are out of their control, and it is. There's a lot of things that's out of control that you can't control right now. John, before we keep going, anything you want to add to that?
It was pretty much on point. I think like during these times right now, a lot of us are so focused and stressed on, what's going on around us, that we forget that it all comes from within, and that, you can't forget about yourself, and you can't lose sight of, when it comes to your nutrition, when it comes to, your goals, your mindset. And I think it's important, and we're going to go through a lot of it today, that, you begin to get rid of all the negative of all, the environment that's going on with what's going on right now, and just focus on tuning into the things that matter most. And not beating yourself up on, your nutrition right now, not beating yourself up on not being able to get tasks done, because as you know, all of our routines are screwed up because of, COVID, the crisis going on and whatnot. And we're gonna go through a lot of that stuff with you guys right now. But Jemand, you touched on a lot of great points though.
Nice, cool, man, awesome. So yeah, we the first tip that we want to talk about, because we're gonna go over 3 tips. Okay, so the first tip is to focus on just the things. So when I wrote the message, I say, hey, I'm going to tell you guys, what you need to start doing, okay, and what you need to stop doing, okay. So the first tip is to focus only on the things that you can control, and stop focusing on the things that you cannot control. That's the first tip, because right now there are a lot of things that are out of our control, and we can't do anything about it, right? You guys know, for example, what's going on with the government right now, right? We can't do anything about it. Tomorrow they can make a decision and say, hey, everybody stay in your house. Like, you can't even come out and say hi to your neighbors, right? We can't control that. But yet, we might let that affect us emotionally and mentally, and like, oh, great, right? The politics right now, we can't control. What's happening in the world with this whole COVID thing, we cannot control it, right? We can protect ourselves, but we can't control it. So with things that are out of our control, even like the weather, right? Right now it's sunny, it's nice. What if it's tomorrow, it's a crazy storm and you can't even step outside? We can't control that. So why do we let the things that we cannot control affect us so much? So that's the thing we have to start looking at. We should stop letting the things that we cannot control affect us, define our happiness, define how we feel. So right now, if you're in a state where it's like I'm depressed or I'm upset, you got to think, is the thing making you that way something that's out of your control? Because it is, then why are you letting it do that to you? So that's the biggest thing you want to know right now, to completely change your mindset. That's the one thing. And the moment you let it go, you're going to notice a difference. Now, we want to focus on the things we can control. What are things that you can't control, John? You want to go over some things that we could control? And if I missed any things that you can't control, you want to add to it?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that you guys control. You know, like right now, you guys can control. Jemand, we pointed out that there's things that you can control that include, for example, your nutrition. Right now, a lot of you can control your nutrition. As much as you want to blame, what's going on right now, has contributed to you not being able to control your nutrition, you can do that. You can focus on beginning to game plan your nutrition. Like right now, most of you are at home, you're sitting at home, and instead of thinking of all the negative aspects of going on around you, start to focus on your nutrition. Remember, if your nutrition's not on point mentally, you're going to feel defeated. You're going to lack energy. And most importantly, you're going to just become more and more stressed. So focus on your nutrition right now as best as you can. Not saying that every day needs to be perfect, but just make sure you start to just really game plan out your nutrition, because I'm telling you, it'll make a world of a difference. Number 2 is workouts. Try to get at least 3 workouts in, guys. Remember, it's the most important part is focusing on yourself during these times. Make sure you make that time for yourself. If you don't make that time for yourself, you're gonna end up becoming more stressed. You're gonna take that stress out on those around you, and you're just gonna dig yourself into a hole. So make sure you plan out your week. Get in at least 3 days of exercise. If you're not doing our workouts or you're not a part of our online program, so be it. That's fine. Do something, whether it's going for a walk, going for a jog, yoga, whatever, meditating. I know that has nothing to do with exercise and whatnot, but just doing something for your mental, your mental state and staying active. Next is sleep. Make sure you guys are getting enough sleep. You can control the amount of sleep that you're getting. If you're not getting at least 6 to 7 hours of sleep, that is going to lead to more stress. It's going to lead you to digging yourself in a hole. It's going to lead to inflammation, pain. I could go on and on and on about, the facts of, a lack of sleep. But just make sure you guys are really planning your sleep, getting enough sleep in every day. Should be no excuse why you're not. And then finally is making sure that you're getting in enough water as well. That goes into nutrition as well, but just making sure that you're getting in you're getting in water, and you're getting in all those other various types of foods and whatnot that will, help you make your mind and put yourself into a better cognitive state or whatever and whatnot. Jay, is there anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, man, 100%. Like you hit on all the points. Water intake, and a big thing you can control is the way you feel, right? If something happens, you know how the saying, do you look at the cup half full or half empty, the glass of water, right? That comes down to the way you feel, the way you look at things, perception, right? So somebody can cut you off on the road right now, and you can let that trigger you, and you're like, yo, screw you, fuck you, you asshole. Or you can just say, well, that guy must be having a bad day, something. You don't know what's going on with that guy. You don't know if he just got news that his mom is in the hospital right now and he's in a rush to get to the hospital. We don't know. But yet, you let that affect your state. And not you like, or they honk at you and you're like flipping out. You have control. We are the author, producer, director of a story right now called life. Well, you all are writing your own story right now, and you are producing, you are directing, you're writing it. So what happens is based on you, right? So you can write an amazing story, or you can write a drama, a story, right? You can write a positive, a motivating story about your life, right? Or you can be all sorrow and drama. It's up to you, but we are in control. So one thing we have control is the way we let external circumstances affect the way we feel. The power we give it over us. One thing I always tell people is like, do not give anybody power over you. Do not give any situation power over you. The moment you give somebody power over you, the moment you let somebody change your state, your being, you've lost. So when somebody calls you out or calls you a name, you asshole. You got to think, well, you know yourself, right? Do you feel like you're an asshole? Excuse my French, but do you know with certainty that you are an asshole? No, you're not. You're not. I believe you're not. All 50 people here, 53 people. I don't believe you're an asshole, right? I do not. But if somebody calls you that, you know that you're not. Don't give that person power over you by actually accepting that. Because the moment you accept it and he calls it and you let it get to you, the moment you let it enter and gets to you, you've accepted it now. So and that creates that reaction. So if somebody curses at me, I don't take things personally. I don't let it affect me. Okay, God bless you too, right? So the things you can control, John named it, from your nutrition to your sleep to your water intake, okay, to your workouts to the way you feel, the way you let things affect you, okay? And stop focusing on the things you cannot control. So that's the first tip. That right there is powerful enough. If you focus on that for going forward, I guarantee you it's going to change your entire outlook on things. 100%. All right? You guys all got that tip? I hope that first tip helped you. You can listen to this and you say, oh, great tip. Or you can take it and you can embody it and say, okay, you know what, going forward, I'm just going to focus on the things I can't control and stop focusing on the things I cannot control and stop letting it affect me. Okay?